Good morning, everyone. This is Commissioner Fournier. Today is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026, and we'll call this meeting to order at 8 a.m. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute their phone. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute yourself when called to speak, again pressing *6. It is very important for all others to remain muted. I would like to do the commissioner roll call. We were uncertain if we had my fellow commissioners on the call. Hello? Commissioner
Good
Bell?
morning. I'm here. Good morning. I'm here. I have to leave at 8:30.
Okay, and Commissioner Scar, I see you're on the call.
Good morning, I am here.
Okay, now they're both remote, as am I, but they are more mobile than I am, so they may have to jump off early. So we will start this meeting with Adventist Health Tillamook. Eric, are you on the call? I'm not hearing Eric. Shall we move on to the Coastal Caucus? Good morning, Senator Weber. Not on the call. This is going to be a quick call. Representative Javadi, are you on the call? Okay, let's move on. This is going to be quick. Let's move on to the Tillamook County Community Health Center. Good morning.
Good morning. I am here.
Hey, you're here. This is great, Camille.
Yeah. Happy Foggy Tuesday.
Thank you.
January is designated as National Birth Defects Awareness Month. Birth defects can occur for many reasons and we cannot prevent them all. However, there are some steps individuals can take to support a happy, healthy pregnancy and healthy babies, such as get 400 micrograms of folic acid every day, take charge of any existing health conditions such as diabetes or high blood pressure, get your recommended vaccines, avoid alcohol, smoking, or other recreational drugs while pregnant, seek a healthcare professional regularly, and if you're pregnant, involve your partner, family, and friends to support you in a variety of ways. Pregnancy can be an exciting time, but it can be stressful. Knowing you are doing your best during pregnancy, including staying healthy, can give you and your baby a healthy and great start. Also, the WIC program at our public health office may be able to be helpful during and after pregnancy. It includes nutrition education and a supplemental food program for women, infants, and children with or at risk of developing nutrition-related health problems. For more information about WIC services and eligibility requirements, you can call 503-842-3943. And there's no charge for WIC services. You can find the WIC program in our public health building in Tillamook. Also, we will be hosting an all-ages vaccine clinic on Sunday, February 22nd from 12 noon until 4 p.m. at our central clinic in Tillamook, located at 801 Pacific Avenue. This is a walk-in clinic, so no appointments are necessary, and it's open to all ages. The convenient vaccine clinic takes place just prior to the Oregon Immunization Exclusion Day. That's on the 25th. Finally, please remember Tillamook County Community Clinics and Public Health will be closed on Monday, January 19th in recognition of Martin Luther King Day. And that is all I have unless there's questions.
Okay, well, thank you for that fantastic information. Camille, is there any questions for Camille? Hearing none, we will move on to the Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy. Gail, are you on the line?
Yes, good morning, everyone. No
morning.
announcements this morning. Just a reminder that, yes, we will also be closed. The Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy will be closed on Monday in recognition of Martin Luther King. And otherwise, we are here. Our clinic is open 8 to 6, and our pharmacy is open 9 to 5:30. And if you need anything, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-368-5182 related to our providers. And that's it for me this morning.
Okay, boy, this is going to be a quick meeting. Thank you very much, Gail. We will move
You're welcome.
on now.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. We'll move on now to Tillamook Family Counseling Center. Do I have someone on the line from there?
You certainly do. Amanda is here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, wonderful. Good morning.
Good morning. I have some exciting news. We yesterday brought on 3 new hires, 2 new clinicians, one of which is bilingual, so that's super exciting. And the other is an assertive community treatment program lead. And so we are able to move the existing lead into our medical team. And so what that means for the community is that we will have a prescriber who it offers med management services in person 3 days a week. We do have other prescribers, but they are virtual. So that's super exciting for individuals who very much want to see the person live and come to the office and aren't maybe comfortable with telehealth. So those are some exciting updates. We do have 2 additional interviews today for additional therapists. And the only other thing that I would like to add is we are also closed on Monday. So we will be back Tuesday for those who need anything. But as always, we are available 24/7, 365 for any crisis needs.
Well, that's fantastic. That's exciting to have the 3 new providers.
It's very exciting. And I
Are those
know
new positions? Are those new positions? Or are they just finally filling some?
finally filling some.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's after the new year, folks were like, okay, now I'm ready, you know, to make the leap into a new position. But no, we're always recruiting. So the Hilda has been here previously and wanted to come back, and we were so thankful to have her. She is the one who is bilingual. So yeah, exciting things going on over here.
Well, that's fantastic. And I trust that you've been settled in now. And how are things going for you?
I'm settled in. I've been here since mid-November, but I tell people this is only what, my 13th day. So give me a little bit of grace. But no, we're doing very well over here. My management team has been extraordinary, and staff has just been so willing to step in and help and show me the ropes. So yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's nice to ask for grace and receive it when you're pretty new to position, like I am as well.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that update, and I'm glad to hear we have those providers. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, well, next up was the sheriff's office, but I just got a text from Sheriff Brown that he is en route to his office, and he didn't expect it to go this fast. So I will come back around and talk with Josh, but let's move on to Randy Thorpe, Emergency Management. Good morning. Is he not on the call? Is he muted? Wow, this is going to be the record meeting. We are 7 minutes in. KTIL is going to have to fill it with a bunch of other stuff. Okay, we'll move on to the Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Bell, I feel like you're sitting in your car somewhere, so I'll go to you first.
Well, thank you. Good morning. I am on my way this morning to the Tillamook Coast Visitors Association board retreat, which is really dynamic. So I want to talk about that for a minute. It was all day yesterday and half day today, and it's an opportunity for the staff and the board to get together and spend some deep time talking about the organization, the services it provides, the value it provides to the community. And some of the things we did yesterday were, I'm on the board as a non-voting member, as a liaison from the county. So that's what I'm doing there. And some of the things that they talked about yesterday were, what are the things that Tillamook Coast Visitors Association provides that no one else provides, and the things that the community would really miss, and which are the essential partnerships that really depend on Tillamook Coast Visitors Association, and what are the values that the association brings to the community. So it was very, very good work, and a lot of alignment came out of it. Like, there were many things that people had the same vision, which was encouraging, and there were some new things that came out. And one of the things for me is that the board doesn't often get to work with the staff other than, we see them at a board meeting. And so it was great to spend the time with staff as part of the group. And the board itself is very, very skilled. There are fabulous people on that board. So it's really good work. I'm very glad to be there. That's why I need to leave early. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the time with them. The other thing I wanted to announce that's thrilling is last night was the Tillamook Bay Community College board meeting, and I was there, and the health education building is scheduled to be done by mid-February, and the parking lot should be open soon. So if people are driving to the college, be looking for, pretty soon the fences will come down, maybe even later this week, the fences will come down, and you won't have to enter through the fairgrounds property on 3rd Street. You'll enter through Brookfield now, so it'll be a new entrance. It used to be you'd enter the college off of Marolf Loop, but now it'll be off of Brookfield. And the building should be move-in ready for staff to get things set up sometime mid to late February, and spring term classes. Our next board meeting will be in the new building because the new board meeting room will be in the new building. So that is all very exciting and great for our students and staff, and kudos to the community for voting for that bond, for voting to support the school and education in Tillamook County. So I think I'll stop there. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I just want to lead off with, I want to talk about both of the things you brought up. One is I would recommend that when they do open that building at the college, that everybody get out there and look at it. It is a beautiful building. It is literally a world-class teaching center for nursing and ENT programs. It's going to be a huge draw, I think, to that school. I'm super excited about it. It's really going to be just a landmark for our county. So I'm excited that you mentioned that. And I'm excited that it's going to be opening so soon. And second, I appreciate you doing the work with TCVA. I think people don't understand that, how much work goes into figuring out what's the best process, what's the next step for tourism. We seem to be in an evolution, and I'm glad that they're doing that work. I did speak to a couple of the other board members, and they seemed very optimistic and excited, and they had some great ideas. And I spoke to some of the staff last week, and so I'm excited of what you folks come out of that retreat with, and what kind of plans and exciting new stuff there is. Because remember, one of the focuses for our TLT money is we also want to make sure that the local community also has equal benefit. It's not just for the visitors. So I'm glad you're doing that work. Thank you. I'll let you go. I know you need to run in there. So have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Scar, I think you're still on the line. I know you're busy in Salem. I saw you yesterday there. I know you're working hard for Tillamook County. Tell us what's up.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Yes. So I spent Friday actually here in Tillamook, but on remote steering committee meetings for the Association of Oregon Counties. And then yesterday spent the full day in Salem in both in-person steering committee meetings, a board meeting, our legislative committee meeting, and then spent the evening actually working to train and orient the co-chairs of our steering committees that are part of my leadership team. So it was a busy day. So the highlights that I will share, we are looking at a short session this year. So that short session will begin on February 2nd. Bills have to be dropped by February 9th. So that's a really, really short timeline. And then there is also a timeline to move bills from one chamber to the other chamber, I believe is the 16th. So it's a very, very compressed schedule compared to a full session, which goes January to June. This one must end on March 8th. It cannot extend beyond that by law. So lots to get done in that short window of time. That said, what we have heard from the state is that the largest focus during this session is going to be on the state budget because of the shortfall that they're expecting. The latest information that we heard on that shortfall is the state expects to be about $600 million short. There is one more revenue forecast coming, which will be the final revenue forecast before the session and will drive everything. It actually occurs, I believe, February 4th. So right after session begins, and that will be the number that they will use to determine the final anticipated shortfall. But right now they're anticipating about 600 million. The Association of Oregon Counties has done some analysis to try to figure out what are the things that may impact for us as counties. And the all departments at the state level were requested by the Ways and Means folks at the legislature to submit both a 2.5% cut budget and a 5% cut budget. So those are the tools that the legislature will start with when they're looking at how to balance the budget. So when they dug into those as with a county lens, what we found is that somewhere between $20 and $40 million of what currently goes to counties across the state is on that cut list. Whether you use the 2.5 or the 5 is the difference between 20 and 40. So the departments at the state level have identified cuts, and we are right in the middle of them. So that will be a huge focus for our lobbying team at the Association of Oregon Counties, as well as commissioners over this very fast, short session, will be to continue to provide information, testify, make sure that those legislators understand what it is exactly that they are cutting. So, it's always easiest to look at the budget and say, well, I'll cut money that I give to somebody else. So I think that's sort of the approach that many departments at the state have taken, is they will protect their in-house programs, and it's much easier to just say they're going to cut the programs that they sub out, which many of those are mandated services of the county. So it's going to be really important that as commissioners and AOC, we are there at all the hearings that are up for those budgets to say, you've identified these items for cut that the county offers, but we must remind you, we offer them because you told us we absolutely have to. So it's going to be, again, fast and probably contentious session with lots of challenges for everybody, because frankly, if the revenue isn't there, the revenue isn't there. So we'll be working hard to make sure that we keep counties as protected as we possibly can during this session. That said, there are a couple of, I'm going to call them more proactive bills that are out there that we'll just kind of talk about quickly. I know we've talked about the local TLT bill with the change hopefully going from 70% tourism spending, 30% local spending, to a flip of that to 60% local spending and 40% tourism. So hopefully that will go through. We want to thank both Senator Weber and Representative Javity, who are not with us today, but who are sponsoring those bills. They're identical. One is in the House, one is in the Senate, which will help us to move it forward faster, because they have a body in both sides. So that will be a great opportunity. I believe it is Bill 3962A. So it does have a bill number now, and it should be ready to be heard. They're going to hear it first in the Senate because the House already passed it last year. It got caught up in the Senate. So we're hoping that if the Senate passes it, this time the House leadership has said, if the Senate passes it, we're good. We've already passed it. We'll just bring it straight to the floor. So a lot of hope for that one, and that could really make a difference for us here at home. The other bill I want to flag is the farm stand bill. There was a farm stand bill in the long session that failed. There was a rulemaking attempt, if you will, between that and current day, that DLCD attempted to put some rules together for updating the farm stand zoning codes, and it failed miserably. DLC did the amount of things they wanted to put in there, and the onus on counties for regulation of those items, the onus on farmers to try to even have a farm stand was ridiculous. So there was a request by the Oregon Property Owners Association, which is who had brought the original request for a bill forward, to the counties specifically to say, look, you're the regulatory body. We are representing property owners. Let's try to work together to create something that will meet the needs of those who are concerned about the proliferation of farm stands, the concern about it taking up too much farmland without actually being tied to a farm, as they balance with property owners who say, I should be able to do whatever I want with my property. But let's come together and talk about how do we create something doable. So I'm really pleased to say that our own Sarah Absher, Community Development Director, was part of that working group, along with Brandon Persinger, who is our lobbyist at AOC in that area, and came forward with a bill that the commissioners yesterday voted to support the bill as written. And so we're excited that that will be moving forward and hope that we found the balance of good governance, which acknowledges that farm stands need some rules around them, but let's not go crazy. So fingers crossed on that one. So I will stop there. There's a lot more in the works legislatively. And once the session kicks off, I'm sure that we will hear more from our legislators, and I will continue to keep everyone informed as I become aware of different bills that drop that impact our community. So thank you for the time today, Gretchen.
Okay, well, thank you. And I just want to add to that. I was very vocal about the previous rulemaking for the farm stands, which now they're also calling farm stores, to kind of clarify what exactly we're talking about. And it was so great yesterday. The presentation was great. And I'm so proud of that we have our community development director, Sarah, in there really helping to shape this legislation. And I think folks need to realize that. And I'm always telling people your voice is important. And this is a perfect example of that, where it was an unpopular rulemaking decision. And then now we've been able to work on it, massage it. Now, again, not one size doesn't fit all for the whole state, but I think I agree with you. I think this is a good beginning balance point. So thank you for all the work you're doing on Salem for that. And we will move on. I have Sheriff Brown is on the line now. So we'll go to Sheriff Brown before we go to the cities. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Commissioner Fournier. Sorry that I caused a little bit of chaos this morning. Normally I don't speak this early, but also I don't normally speak on the second week. So that's because I missed last week. So that was on me. I thought for this report, being that it's January, I would share stats from 2025, or at least a snapshot of what we've been doing, or the calls for service at any rate. What I'd like to do is I'd like to remind the listeners kind of what this means as far as these calls for service. When I list off what type of call and the number of calls that go with it, it's important to note that these are the calls that come into dispatch to 911. Dispatchers determine what type of call it is, and then they categorize it. And so that's what these numbers are the categorizing of the calls as they come in. Each call can change as a deputy investigates, and maybe a call comes in as a disturbance, but then it turns out to be a harassment or an assault call or a trespass call. So these calls, like I said, are just what the calls come to us as, and then they in turn get investigated and for determination of what specifically has happened. So with that, let's get going here. So the total calls for service that the Sheriff's Office handled in 2025 is 19,022. That is actually up from 2024. There was 18,552. So we're just over 500, or we're just about 500 calls more this year than we were in 2024. Calls that were labeled as an assault was 142. We did respond to and investigate 72 death calls. That number is down from the previous year, which was 84. We responded to 109 burglary calls, 144 in 2024. So again, that number is down. The number of disturbances that we responded to, which could range from verbal all the way up to actual physical altercations, was 396. That number is up from the previous year, which was 335. We had 108 missing person or search and rescue related calls. That number is down from the previous year, which was 124. We had 506 motor vehicle accidents that we responded to. That number is up from the previous year, which was 457. We had 122 calls that were related to somebody that might be thinking of self-harm or suicidal ideations. That number is staggering. We don't like seeing that number that high, but it is a reality, and that's how many we responded to. 202 theft calls. That number is down from the previous year, which was 265. We had 172 trespass calls. That number is also down from the previous year, which was 197. We wrote 878 case reports. Case reports are going to be narrowed down from all of these call types and determine that they're criminal in nature, and a case needed to be forwarded to the district attorney's office. Our office made 303 arrests. Those are both physical arrests as well as cite and release arrests. We responded to 346 harassment type calls. That number is higher than the previous year, which was 322. Some self-initiated, or what we call proactive policing. We did 1,326 business and home checks in 2025. Civil services, which is a requirement by law for all sheriff's offices in Oregon, we attempted 1,758, so 1,758 attempts on civil services. We made 2,671 traffic stops. That number is higher than 2024. 2024 was 2,355, so a little more than 300 higher than the previous year. And a couple other call types that a lot of people may not understand or realize that the sheriff's office responds to. I would imagine most people believe that, you know, disturbances, car crashes, emergencies is the type of stuff that the sheriff's office responds to. But these are some additional call types that we do respond to that actually take up some of our time. Alarms. So if an alarm goes off at a person's home, we generally respond to that and make sure the house is secure. We had 283 of those. Fireworks complaints, which is, you know, citizens calling in fireworks. We had 111 of those. Road hazard, which could be anything from a tree to flood water to a car parked in the road. We responded to 193 of those. And welfare checks, which could be, you know, somebody walking along the road, somebody sleeping on the road, or a car broke down. We responded to 525 welfare check calls. If you look at all those calls, which a lot of people, like I said, may not realize that we respond to, that's over 1,000 calls. It's 1,112 to be exact. You know, that's at least 2 a day on average, maybe closer to 3. And one call that I did leave out, which again, this is a staggering number that we hate to see, are our CAMI calls. And again, as a reminder, CAMI calls are child abuse or child neglect type calls. Our office responded to 541 of those calls, which is more than 1 a day on average, 1.5 day per day, maybe. That number is a terrible number to see. Now, I can also say that not every one of them you know, come to be a criminal case per se. And most of those we do respond with Department of Human Services, the DHS, Child Welfare Division. So that's a big number. It is higher than the previous year. The previous year was 463, so that's roughly 80 more, about 78, I think. So we hate to see those numbers that high, but again, it's a reality that we have to deal with, and we take those very seriously. So beyond that, you know, we're coming off of you know, the Christmas season. We were able to do Shop with a Cop, which that's one of my favorite events of the year. Of course, I get to do parades, you know, a lot of other public functions being in this position, but Shop with a Cop is absolutely one of my favorites. Not only do we get to help kids have a good Christmas that they otherwise may not be able to have, but building a relationship between law enforcement and the kids of our community is priceless. I'm not sure how you put any kind of a value on that, but like I said, it's one of our favorites. So we were able to do that. I believe 46 kids is how many we did that day. There were a couple of no-shows, and then there were a couple that weren't able to make it that day. I believe the total number that Tillamook City PD had put together was 50 kids across our community. So that's just a really, really good event, and I'm very, very happy that we can be a part of it each year. We did that in early December, so that was a good one. Now we just kind of get to play catch up and see what 2026 is going to bring us. And that's all I got. I can take questions.
Okay, any questions for Sheriff Brown? If not, I just want to say, you know, I appreciate you doing these kind of stats at the beginning of the year. It is sobering to see some of these numbers. I mean, having worked, I understand them, but it's really good for the public to understand. Just we are very safe, and we have, you know, very high standard of living here, very high quality of life. But you know, these kind of things happen, every day. And, you know, it's to think about the response to motor vehicle accidents, that alone, 506. So that's more than one a day. But it's, well, almost more than one a day, but that's crazy amount of time that these deputies, we don't have a ton of deputies working. So I thank you for these numbers. The CAMI numbers are very, you know, disappointing and unfortunate and scary. You weren't on the call, but earlier, Amanda from TFCC was talking about getting 3 new providers. And to me, that gives me a little bit of hope to have that we have some more resources for people struggling with addiction and mental health issues, because a lot of times, a majority of the times, the CAMI calls are directly related to both of those things. So the fact that we have some more resources coming online in the community, I'm hoping maybe we can see those numbers go down. But thanks again for bringing them to us, even if some of them are unpleasant to hear. So appreciate that, Josh. Thank you.
Yep, you are very welcome. Good insight on those stats.
So moving on, we'll move on to the city of Manzanita. Good morning. Is Mayor Stock on the line? Okay, we'll move quickly down to Rockaway Beach. Oh, was that Mayor Stock?
Commissioner Fournier, this
hello.
is Linda Kozlowski.
Hi,
Hi,
Linda.
I'm sorry.
No,
Hi, it took me a little longer than I expected to get off of mute, but
I didn't. Well, it
I'm
happened.
really glad to be.
I didn't recognize the phone number, and it does take a little bit of time to get off mute.
Yeah.
That happened to me last week. So no worries. Good morning. Nice to hear you.
Good morning. Well, I have a fairly short report this morning, but pretty interesting, I think, because we had the first emergency declaration in 2006. You may have heard about it before from Mayor Stock, but there was some soil movement that looked like it might have been a landslide. And so we activated immediately, and our emergency manager, Sergeant Sims, did an excellent job, worked very closely with Randy Thorpe at the county, and it has been resolved, but it was a great team effort. EBC was activated to support it, and we really practiced what we talked about a lot in terms of how to respond to emergencies. So it was really a good experience, and we passed an emergency declaration in our last council meeting. After months of working with the Planning Commission, months working with City Council, we have finally passed our middle housing ordinance bill for the second reading, and so it is final as of last Wednesday. And we're just really pleased with the outcome, and look forward to hopefully increasing the middle housing access to our community. Other than that, that's my report today, and I'm really glad to be here, and was very impressed with Sheriff Brown's report. That's a lot of activity in the county, and it's really good to have people that you can trust in that position. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Linda. Hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy. Yep, the sun is still out. Enjoy the sunshine today.
I will. Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye. And I know that Mayor McNeely's on the line because he never lets me down. Charles, are you there?
Good. Good morning. Yes, I'm here. It's very unusual for me to miss, because I really do value these calls, and I know that my community is listening and others are listening. So let me get to it. I want to start with a shout out to the Tillamook Coast Visitors Association. Rockaway Beach's tourism economy has grown substantially since signing our first contract with TCVA. The interviews and the articles and the videos have positioned Rockaway Beach as a destination of choice year-round. We've rolled out with TCVA a hugely popular facade grant program. Businesses like Green Coast Market and Seabreeze and Joe's and Beach Bake Shop are among those who have benefited from that program, leveraging tourism lodging tax dollars. Recently, TCVA produced business reels on our business owners, interviewing our business owners to promote their local business that were posted on social media. And most recently, we partnered with TCVA to offer a business boot camp entailing 4 workshops to help people build up their skills either to start a new business or grow their current business. So I think you can tell I'm a huge fan of the organization and look forward to the next chapter.
Great.
The City of Rockaway Beach Winter Newsletter was published and mailed. It is also available on our website. This week is a busy week for public meetings. We have 4. Our City Council workshop is tomorrow, Wednesday, January 14th at 4:30 p.m. in the City Hall second floor conference room, followed by the City Council regular meeting at 6 p.m. downstairs in the City Hall Council room. Our Planning Commission meets on Thursday, January 15th at 5 p.m. in the City Hall Council room. And our Forest Stewardship Plan Advisory Committee meets on Friday, January 16th at 11 a.m. in the City Hall second floor conference room. We offer in-person and virtual options for attending all our meetings. Meetings are recorded, so they are available for viewing at your convenience. And the agenda and packets are available on our city website. Sign up for our city email list on our city website to have meeting packets sent to you automatically. Speaking of websites, we are excited to announce the launch of the new City of Rockaway Beach website, now hosted by Civic Plus and purpose-built specifically for municipal government needs. I'm particularly excited about this. I have some experience in software development and software rollout, and I'm happy that our city is leveraging an off-the-shelf software package specifically designed for organizations like ourselves. The website fully complies with the latest state of Oregon accessibility standards and is designed to support future enhancements as our city continues to grow and our services expand. I do want to shout out to City Hall staff Lark Reifenstahl and City Recorder Melissa Thompson, who put in a huge amount of time over the last 6 months to get this rolled out. I have experience rolling out new software, so I know how challenging it is. And we're a small organization. And so thank you, Lark and Melissa, for all your efforts to get this launched. After a long search, I've talked about this before, Public Works is pleased to have hired 2 new utility workers, both local and motivated individuals who have expressed a strong interest in building long-term careers with the city. Start dates for these 2 new hires are January 20th and 26th. They've accepted a competitive wage package that aligns well with our budget goals and provide excellent value for the city while strengthening our workforce for the future. So welcome. The fire department, love to talk about the fire department. They've posted their 2026 training schedule on our website. If you're interested in the kinds of training that they're going to go through, it's packed. It's really built around advancing their skills and capabilities. And some new classes this year include pumper operator, aerial operator, and apparatus operator, driven by our new ladder truck, and to help them achieve higher certification levels. And this is also an accreditation year for Department of Public Safety and Standards training, and so they're getting geared up for that. Last but not least, Finance Director Johnston received the latest quarterly local lodging report, which details transient lodging tax collected by the state's revenue board on the city's behalf. This covers July, August, September, and the numbers are up slightly over year over, which is really good news because there was some concern with the headwinds against tourism, such as Canadians aren't traveling to the U.S. So it does suggest, as we experienced another strong tourism year for us last summer. With that, I'm done. I'm happy to take questions or pass the baton back to you, Commissioner.
Well, thank you, Mayor. That was a great report. There was an incident that happened that I'm aware of in Rockaway, and I'm only using it because I heard about it this week. There was a building, and I don't know the details, so I'm going to keep it, but I have an important message with this. There was a building that had some issues with this propane tanks and the regulator, and I believe the fire department responded, and rightfully so, evacuated, and they called the company, and proper repairs were made. And I just want to use this opportunity as a firefighter a million years ago, that here on the coast, we have a lot of people that heat or have propane. I have propane in my house for my cooking stove and fireplace. We have propane, we have salt air. They don't mix. The tanks, you need to check. Everybody should be, and then I'm sure that the fire chief, as he is doing all that, he's fantastic. You have a fantastic fire department. They do a fantastic job, and I know that they're on top of this stuff. But this is one of those things I just want to take this opportunity because a tragedy was probably averted, and we all can be in this. I had to go outside and look at mine just to make sure. So I would just tell everybody, if you have propane, going into your house periodically, don't just rely on the propane service. If you get your tanks filled by somebody else, go out there and take a look at them just to make sure that they're not corroded, that the lines look good. And if there's any issue, call the person the company you buy propane from, and just get them fixed. I just wanted to mention that because it made me think of it talking to you. So
no,
there you
thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. We walk our dogs around the neighborhoods, and I'm amazed at how many tanks I see that really don't look very good.
No, they don't.
For the reasons you pointed out, salt air. I think that was a great message to all of our listeners. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. It just made me think of Jacobson Salt had a large fire. There's propane. Again, it's just part of living here. Is one of the things you check your oil in your car. You should check the propane going into your house and make sure everything looks good. So I don't want to belabor that issue, but it's important to me that people are safe. So thank you for contributing to that.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Bay City. Mayor Welch, are you on the line?
I am, Commissioner Fournier. Good morning. Yes, this is Mayor Leanne Welch. A few things. So tonight we have our City Council meeting at 6 p.m. at City Hall. And included in our agenda tonight is a presentation by Melanie Olson from Business Oregon and Terry Cooper from Tillamook County EDC on the String of Pearls Enterprise Zone and what that means to the businesses in the enterprise zone, and then looking at a potential conclusion of the Jacobson Salt Company. So interesting that was mentioned earlier. So a lot to learn tonight about what the String of Pearls Enterprise Zone is and how that impacts our businesses, or what advantages that is to our businesses. And I also, again, want to thank the county commissioners. On Wednesday, January 14th at 9:45 is the first of two public hearings to consider placing the formation of a new fire district between Bay City Fire Department and the Tillamook Fire District on the May 2026 ballot. So I'll be seeing you there on Wednesday, so thank you. And then we have a community workshop scheduled for Thursday, January 29th at 5 p.m. at City Hall. The purpose of this workshop is to gather information from the public on the proposed one-time urban growth boundary expansion under House Bill, I think, 1537, and to gather the community's perspectives on what the community believes is important to protect, strengthen, and be mindful of as the city considers how this site moves forward. So all are welcome, and we'd like to hear from our community, on this new expansion, potential expansion of the urban growth boundary. And just a lot going on in our city. And then, of course, we have Senator Merkley coming this Saturday at Tillamook High School. So that's an open meeting for all the community members. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I was going to mention that myself about on Wednesday, tomorrow, during our BOCC meeting. There will be, assuming that somebody from the city or the fire department will be doing some kind of presentation for this public hearing. So we're looking forward to hearing more about that. I would encourage folks to go online and watch that live if they have a chance to, if they want to learn more. So thank you for mentioning that. If there's any questions, no questions for the mayor, we'll move on to the city of Tillamook. Sean Lewis, are you on the line?
I am. Thank you. I apologize. I missed the last few weeks.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Commissioner. Just two quick items for us here at Tillamook. First off, with the better weather yesterday and today, we're able to get our workers out to Coatesville Park and put our rubberized playground base down. And if the weather holds and everything is good, we should be able to reopen the playground at Coatesville Park this coming weekend. So cross our fingers for that, and hopefully that'll be an exciting thing for our community to have that new playground up and going. The other thing we want to mention is everybody in the city of Tillamook should be receiving this week a letter from RCAC regarding the survey that is going out, that is very, very important. That survey will reach a segment of the population. Right around 300 people will receive that survey beginning next week. It is very important that, one, everybody know about the survey, and two, that if you do receive the actual survey, that you fill it out and respond and get that back in. We need 90% response for the survey to be considered valid. So it is very important that everybody get their friends and neighbors, if you get a survey, to get it back as quickly as you can. But the letter announcing the survey and giving instructions went out, should have been mailed yesterday and should be arriving in mailbox this week. And then the actual survey going to the smaller segment of the population will be going out on Tuesday. So that should be hitting our mailboxes soon. And we thank everybody for their efforts in getting that done so that we can have really good information as we apply for different financial products, such as grants that require this type of demographic information. So that's our report, Commissioner. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Sean. I just wanted to mention something. I wanted to give some kudos to your Public Works and Police Department. I recently acquired a new dog, and so I find myself needing to walk him more, or walk around Tillamook more often to give him a break. And one of the places where I've gone has been the Hocourton Slough Park there. And I remember walking my police. I had a canine. I had a drug sniffing canine when I was with the sheriff's office, and that was one place I'd take him to walk around and get him some exercise. I just want to say that the park has been looking great. I want to encourage people to, if you haven't visited in a while, to go back there and visit it. The pathway is clear. The grass has been cut. They're making improvements to some of the docks there, the viewing docks. I just wanted to say, because I think a lot of folks don't forget that it's there and forget that it's been used. And there's been some of the unsightly camps that had been there are not there anymore. So it's a comfortable place to go for a stroll. I've been seeing more people walking with strollers and walking the dogs and just enjoying the area. So I just want to comment. I've talked to Chief Troxel about it. He informs me that he has officers periodically they walk through there quite a bit, I think daily. And I can tell that Public Works has been down there keeping it up. So I just wanted to give you kudos on that. Those green spaces are so important for people to kind of decompress and get out there. And I think the more that the public uses those spaces, the more they stay in good shape, because people that want to destroy them don't want to be around people that are enjoying that area. So I just want to encourage that.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right in that. Not to interrupt you, but we've had a concerted effort. We've received some comments from the community about not feeling welcome in our parks because of some of the things that happen there. And so we have made a concerted effort with our police and our Public Works to be very visible in the parks, to be to clean up things that happen, and especially with Hocourton, we have spent a lot of time and money going down and cleaning up it back in the hidden areas down there. When I first came to Tillamook last year, I was told not to go down there, that was not a safe place. And we want to make sure that all of our community areas are safe places for our residents to go and for our visitors to go. And so we have spent a lot of time and effort to make sure that these areas are cleaned up, and that is a place that residents can feel safe to take their families. You mentioned the strollers. We want our parks and our playgrounds to be a place where kids can play and laugh and enjoy. We want to be able to take your dogs to the parks. We want you to come and enjoy the facilities that we have. That's things that your tax dollars go to, and we want to make sure that we're keeping them in a shape, in a condition that is worthy of the money that we spend on them.
Sean, I have a question about that. I also want to mention the dog park at the back, at the end of Front Street. I've been using that more often now, and that also has been looking great. It's kind of tough to keep that up because there's so many people using it, but it's obviously a very necessary space, and I appreciate that it's there for me to go down there and use it. And again, to your point, we need to have that presence. We need the law enforcement presence, even if it's just a walkthrough. That presence helps to discourage the illegal activity, illegal dumping, illegal camping, all the things, all the blight that we get. So the other question I had, and I'm sorry to hold it on the call on this, but it's interesting to me, is I remember years ago, maybe 15 years ago, or even longer, there was some volunteer, help to repair and build some of the things at the park, at Hocourt in particular. And I was wondering if the city had, like, is there a way for folks to volunteer? Because I noticed like some of those observation decks need some wood. I think the wood's been stolen. There's been some graffiti. And I was just wondering if there's been any kind of volunteer opportunities to help with that, or to make donations if someone wanted to.
We are always open to volunteers and coming. We don't have a concerted effort, meaning an organized effort to do volunteer work or to accept those kind of things. But if somebody has something that they see and they want to talk about it, they are more than welcome to call or text me. My phone number is readily available. My cell phone, 503-267-0477. You can reach out to me as the city manager. You can reach out to your city council representatives. We will find ways to make all that work. But as far as having an organized group that does things, we don't have one.
You're breaking up, Sean.
Oh, I apologize. I must have the earth moved underneath me.
The earth moved underneath you, but we got your phone number. So that's
Yeah.
great. And I appreciate that. And I just want to end this call. I just want to tell people it's going to be a nice couple of days. So even if you can just sneak out at lunch, get out and use these spaces. Whether you're in the city of Manzanita or Bay City, find your public spaces and start using them. And if you see problems, report them. They don't assume that we know about it. If something needs to be fixed, or if there's some garbage or some damage, let the city or the county know, so we can get out there and fix these. Because I believe in the old broken window theory. If you let things go, they just get, so if you have one broken window in an abandoned building, you're going to have all the broken windows if you don't fix it. So I feel like it's very strongly about us taking back these local areas and making them usable again. So with that, thank you for that conversation, Sean. And with that, I will thank KTAL for broadcasting this call. And I want to thank all of you that did attend. And I'm sorry that a lot of you missed it, because I thought we had a pretty good meeting today. With that, I will adjourn this meeting at 8:52 a.m. Everybody have a great day.